Hey there, beautiful. Welcome back to Release Your Inner Power and Ways to Boost Your Week with Ignited Decisions. I'm your host, Shauna B, and today we're diving into something we all need in our back pocket: how to shift your mood in just 5 minutes. We all have those days when the coffee spills, the kids are having a meltdown, or you just wake up feeling like meh, off, right? And sometimes you don't have an hour to meditate or go to the gym. It's just not there. What you do have is 5 minutes. And if you use it with intention, it can be enough to change the direction of your day. So let's talk about how to notice when your mood is slipping a little bit, so how you can reset that fast, and the simple shifts that you can start using today to do that. Here we go. So let's start with noticing when things are off, right? When you're not feeling it. How do we do that? How do we notice when things are off? Moods often shift without us even realizing it because there's so many things at play here that contribute to this. So much information, so much noises, so many things happening around us. It can show up like snapping at somebody or sighing a lot, right? Or totally zoning out, where you kind of like go on a little vacation or somewhere else in your brain and you're not really there, like you're looking off into your with your eyes, right? Or it could be just procrastinating. There was a time where I recently dropped my 19-year-old off. We had a family vacation, get a little background context. We had a family vacation that we were doing and he had to go back to work. So I had to drop him off early and we were going to be coming back later. And as I was walking to the car, I felt so many flippin' emotions coming up. It was so crazy. I felt really uneasy. And then with its buddy sorrow, not far behind. And I thought to myself and realized that it wasn't about the situation, but it was about my state of mind that I was in. Because I knew he was fine. I knew I was going to see him in a couple of days and he's going back to work, right? He's just getting onto a ferry so he can go to work and he's 19. Hello. But I was also tired. I was totally alone. And I had at least an hour drive by myself ahead of me to get lost in the sauce of thoughts. So my mind was already having a field day with what was going to be ahead of me. And I knew before I got in that car, I had to hit the pause button for myself and I had to reset what was going on there. So let's break down some like common or more common signals that you notice when your mood needs some attention. It's the information to know when to hit that pause button. Okay. If you feel tense in your body, if your shoulders are tight, or if you like clench your jaw, right? You clench your jaw and you're flexing on the sides of your face. Or maybe when I say shoulders are tight, do you wear your shoulders as earrings? Like, do you actually just raise them up little by little and not even realize it at first? And then when you're like, where am I relaxed right now? And you can feel your shoulders drop at least an inch. Try it. It blew my mind the first time I did. I was like, holy moly, I wear my shoulders as earrings regularly. So I've had to work on that. Or maybe you're really short with people you love. Things irritate you instantly. They ask you a question that wouldn't normally upset you and you get all irritated and snap at them, right? Maybe your thoughts get louder and they're really negative and they're talking to you. You are talking crap to yourself. Do you feel drained throughout the day? Or do you feel drained when you just woke up and you've been up for 10 minutes? Okay, those are some things because mood is a sneaky thing. It shows up in how we talk, in how we carry our bodies, how we carry ourselves, how we breathe, right? Remember those big sighs I was talking about? The key is notice what you're noticing, have the awareness around that, and then ask yourself, is this how I really want to show up right now? And if the answer is no, that's your signal to pause and reset. And let me remind you, It is totally okay for you to take a second because by and large society, we have react, 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 react. We got to react to the thing, react to the question, do the thing, go fast, go fast, go fast. Now, here's permission to take a second to pause, ask yourself the question, and respond. Okay? Respond. So, is 5 minutes enough? Yes, it is. And I'm going to tell you why. Science shows that your mood is heavily, heavily influenced by your nervous system. And if you are living in survival mode or you are present and grounded, right? Which one do you find yourself in the most? Which one do you notice and feel yourself in the most? This is where the small shifts like breathing, like movement, like even laughing will signal that you are safe and it resets your stress hormones. It gives you a reset. It gets you out of that survival mode. For example, when you go walk outside for 5 minutes, it increases serotonin. Another example, I just did this one the other day. I had to clean my house and I turned on some music and there was my jam that came on right away. And instantly I felt all like, and you like I got the goosebumps and I started singing it. It was like instant shift and I had a palpable feeling of it shifting. Totally flooded my brain with dopamine. And then it was on a roll. So I was in a good mood. I'm cleaning, do. What's the next song? Right? Both of those hormones calm the nervous system and get you out of survival mode. You don't need a full day at the spa, even though we all love those, or a 90-minute workout, even though those feel really good. You don't have to have them all the time. You just need to send your brain the message you are okay and you can feel better now. 5 minutes is enough to shift gears here if you use it intentionally, right? I want to share a few more 5 minute mood boosters because sometimes it can be hard to even think what I don't know. I don't know what to come up with for this 5 minute mood booster shift situation. So I want to flip that around to be able to use one or some of them. I want to give you some, kind of like a little toolbox, if you will. So you have something to do. So in case you need it and you just can't think of it, I got you. I got you. So tool number one, breathe and reset. So a quick breathing technique. I sometimes start doing this and I don't even realize I'm doing it. If I feel myself getting anxious, spiraling, whichever, I automatically start doing it. And then when I've already started, then I notice that I'm doing it. So you inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 2, exhale for 4 seconds. And you can do that a couple of times. When I use this, I can feel the shift. Like I know when I'm spiraling, I start doing it. I need a quick reset. I'm like, okay, if there's nothing I can do, if I'm like stuck somewhere and I can't move from the space and I need that reset right now because I can feel myself, it's getting there. It's getting a lot of control. I don't know. I don't know, right? It doesn't feel right. I start doing this breathing and it like brings it back down, brings it back down. You know what I'm talking about? That uncomfortable, anxious feeling when it starts to come out. When you start breathing, you will feel it coming back down. This is a natural reset that you can do to get out of survival mode for your brain and your nervous system. Okay. Tool number two is move your body. Dance, stretch, walk outside. There was a time that I needed a shift and decided to totally blast music in my kitchen because I knew it was going downhill fast. And I got all silly and was like dancing really big and not even how I normally dance. I just didn't care. I was just trying to dance all big, silly. And then I started singing, which I don't ever really do unless I'm alone. But then I started singing and my kids were like, what in the heck is going on? And they come out in the kitchen and then they just decide to join in after laughing and being like, Mom, what are you doing? You wackadoo. But then now everybody's energy is shifted, not just mine. Now everybody's in a silly mood. Everybody's shifted, right? A third tool is move your environment. So if you are in a room, in a space, move from the space. Go outside, change your view, what you see, move to a new space to change it up. Okay. Maybe if you're at a desk, move from your desk to an outside space, go to a window where you can see something different just for 5 minutes. If you can't go outside, go to a window where you can see. If you're in a room and you can't make it outside or go to a window and you need to go to another room, go to another room. Go to another room. Move your energy from the space that you're in, from the space that you're in. Okay. Fourth tool, gratitude or a joy flash. So, what do I mean by that? So, with gratitude, sometimes to help shift because you cannot be in a negative space and be like, oh, I'm grumpy and da 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 and spiraling and anxious and da 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 and then talk about gratitude. Your body can't be in the same space. It doesn't align that way. And so if you name three things that you're grateful for or bring to mind a really happy memory that was so, so fulfilling that filled your heart or made your heart warm or something that was just really happy for you, the kind that makes you smile, right? That will shift. Like I have a memory of when my family and I would do game nights where we would come together, we'd eat food, play games, you know, talk about what the last month had brought us and just updated everybody and just spending time, right? That was a memory for me. Another way of doing a joy flash is like looking at my fun videos on my phone of like my kiddos or when I went on vacation or when I did some really awesome adventures and I took videos of it or my silly friends doing silly things and I got videos of it. That's always a fun thing to do to bring a smile to your face to shift it around. Tool number 5, get a connection boost. So what do I mean by this? Texting a friend, going and giving somebody a hug, maybe going and hugging your kid. If you have an animal, petting your animal, taking your animal for a walk, doing something like that. Sending some or one kind message to a friend or just letting somebody know that you're thinking about them not only lifts you up, but it lifts them up too. The trick isn't just doing something, it's doing it with intention behind it. So 5 minutes scrolling on your phone is what is going to do what? It's just going to drain. That's just going to drain you. 5 minutes of breathing, laughing, or moving is going to recharge you. Okay. So I want to look into how we know when we need that 5 minutes the most. How do we know? How do we know this is when I need to take that 5 minutes? So notice during the day that there's different patterns that come up for you. Maybe you hit a midday slump in the afternoon. Maybe your mornings feel really heavy. Maybe you have a certain time of day that you have a little bit more arguments than you normally would. Maybe you're a little overstimulated, right? Is there a time during the day where you get really overwhelmed or you're just like, I can't do this. I'm just done. I'm over it, right? These are huge, great, awesome indicators to let you know what time it is. It's that 5 minute reset time, girl. It's the 5 minute reset time. If it's hitting you, you're getting frustrated, irritated, all the things, time to hit that pause button for 5 minutes. I have a list on my phone and I call it my toolbox and it's a reset list because sometimes some things will just hit you out of left field and you can't think of stuff. So I put it somewhere where all I have to do is recall it, not in my brain if it's not working right, right? If the wiring is just all off and you just can't think straight or what have you. I have that list so I can recall it on my phone so it's there for me. It's a tool. So this way I can add to it as well, right? Learning something new, add it on there, all of that. These are my go-to moves that when I notice that I'm slipping or I'm starting to spiral, I have it there. It is always good to have a list because different ones also work for different moods. Don't just have one tool and be like, that's what my tool is, because that tool might not work for the situation and circumstance that you are in tomorrow, that it might have worked for today. So mix them up, have different ones to choose. The more, the better. Try creating your own 5 minute toolbox and reset list. Actually, let's make that a challenge for this week. You know, a girl loves a challenge. It's my little competitive side coming out. So make a challenge for this week. Build your 5 minute toolbox or reset list. Pick 3 quick resets that you can reach for anytime that your mood dips, shifts, or what have you. Maybe it's a song, maybe it's a dance, maybe it's that joy, gratitude flash, maybe it's stepping outside, maybe it's going to a window, having the sun hit your face, whatever that is. Because here's the test: notice your signals, catch yourself before the spiral, and give yourself those 5 minutes. Watch how it shifts not just your mood, but your day. It will shift your day. And remember, your power isn't in waiting for the weekend or the big vacation or the big thing, right? It's in those small intentional choices you make daily. 5 minutes is all it takes to feel like you again, to feel a little bit more recharged. Thank you so much for tuning in to Release Your Inner Power. If this episode helped you, share it with a friend who could use a 5 minute boost. And I'd love to hear about your reset list and what you have on that list. Until next time, pause, breathe, and remember, you always have the power to reset. Thank you for listening to today's episode. I hope you enjoyed the conversation, learned something new, or got some gems to take away that will boost your week. I release a new episode each week, so make sure to click that follow button to not miss what is coming next. If you love the show or want to share a story, send me a quick message. I love hearing from listeners. If you know someone who needs this episode in their life, go ahead and share it with them. I'm sure they would love you for it. If you are looking to connect more, check out the show notes for all the social links, my website. I would love to hear how this episode helped you and what you loved about it. If there's a topic you want to hear about, send that too. All right, ladies, now is the time to release your inner power. Are you feeling like you're behind or something's off or you've tried to do something new and you just can't get on that wagon? You just keep falling off? Guess what? You're human and life doesn't follow a perfect timeline. Maybe the year didn't start the way that you hoped. Maybe your goals got buried under real life stuff. But here's the truth. You're allowed to begin again anytime you want, whether it's July, September, December, January. Progress doesn't have a deadline. That's why now is the perfect time to join Empower Her. We meet you where you are, help you build momentum, and remind you that you don't have to do this alone. There's still so much time left. Let's make it count together.